Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, pardon me.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is still Carl Tiley. That's still Paul Mawate. Paul, the bye-week blues are over for Wars fans.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, they are.
Well,
The bye-week's gone.
yeah, but they've got another one.
Not this week.
No, but there's still one in the bag.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's not quite over, but it is over for a while. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go from here?
Well, where do we go?
Let's go with this easy one. Speaking of the Blues, he nearly made it. Maybe nearly made it. He's wearing a top. He looks like he's been banished to the kids' room. It is former Warrior, former Tiger, former Shark, the great man, Blake Ashford. Blake, welcome in.
Thanks for having me again, lads. Away on school holidays. So, school holidays is on. So if you want to take this over an hour, I'm happy today. Just to get me away from the kids. Yes, in the kids' room, because they don't come here. They're just out on the TV or doing something. So happy to be here again, talk some rugby league.
And fourth man in. Today, he wants to get out of here fast, which is unheard of. Nick Tedeschi's got to get to Garfield at his school holidays also. Teddy, how you going?
Well, much like Blake, I would rather be here for 2 hours, but I'm one out here, so I'm going to take full advantage of it and hopefully wrap it up with maybe a little trip to Colonel Sanders on the way home. So a little something in there for Dad as well as the kids.
Nice. What's the go-to movie snack?
Maltesers.
Okay.
Popcorn's the most overrated thing in the world, just quietly.
Popcorn in with the ice cream. Oh, the ice cream, the top, ice cream in the popcorn.
Oh, really?
Awesome. Yeah.
I like that. Well, I don't mind mixing the Maltesers and the popcorn, but that's a good one. We might try that today. We won't tell Mum that we might try that today.
All right, let's try and get back on track. And we're going to go straight into, fellas, Origin. Origin is tonight. It is July 17, Wednesday. Quick look at Origin. 1-1, heading to Suncorp. Queensland have not lost Game 3 decider at Suncorp since 2005, I believe.
1994, I think it was, wasn't it? Was the last one?
94, is it?
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
I'm pretty sure they won in 2000.
2000.
Wow, one of those years. I think they won one before.
Boys are in disarray.
Well, otherwise, this is like an Eden Park stat that we're throwing out here. Teddy might not know Eden Park. It's the major.
I think Manly and the Warriors played there once, but I was surprised they built such a big stadium.
Anyway, a couple of changes for Queensland. Cobb onto the wing, Gagai into the centres, Valentine Holmes onto the wing, and Ponga onto the bench. Bradman Best comes into the centres for the Blues, and Mitch Barnett onto the bench. Teddy, I'm going to throw to you straight away for some betting-related statistics, please.
I've got lots of betting-related statistics here, so we'll just rattle through them. But unfortunately, they all lead to Queensland, which is a concern. Suncorp, Queensland have won 14 of the last 17 since 2010. Last 2 wins by double digits. Over the last decade, the 9 live matches, non-dead rubbers, 7-2 Queensland. The last 8 at the ground have totaled 38 or fewer, so we can look at that for the totals. Game 3, the home team has won the last 9 Game 3s. The Game 2 loser has won 8 of the last 10 Game 3s. Queensland 10-4 in the last 14 Game 3s. Last 4, 38 or fewer. Deciders. New South Wales have won just 2 deciders in Queensland ever. I did have the last in 1994, but I could be wrong, so I'll stand by that one. Queensland have won 7 of the last 8 deciders. The home team's won 7 of the last 8 deciders. Refereeing. games at Suncorp, Queensland have won 63% of all penalties at Suncorp over the years. Ashley Klein, Queensland 5-3 when he's been a solo ref. Teams off a big loss, teams off a double-digit loss, and won 7 of the last 10. So not good reading. And had Queensland have named not the all team, had they have named a back row of Dave Feder and both for more, instead of Manai and Kurt Capel, I would declare there was absolute certainties in this game. But New South Wales have a chance because the Crichton Martin on Kurt Capel and Jeremiah Nanai is a massive advantage to the Blues. So numbers certainly with Queensland, but I think some very positive team changes that favour the Blues in game 3.
That's a lot to take in, of course. Queensland are $1.87 favourites. New South Wales $1.95. Blake, I see you arched your back up there for a lot of those stats. What are you thinking?
No, all mine led to Queensland too. I went on a little stat merchant. I had them in the 04-05 deciders. New South Wales, I thought, was their last ones in Lang Park or Suncorp. They won. Could be wrong there, but look, you go to 1994, the same scenario. New South Wales lost. They won in Melbourne. They go to Lang Park, Suncorp Stadium, and win that game. Benny Elias, Mitch Moses, relation, I don't know. Is that a hunch there, Paul? Maybe. The big stat for me was the 60 games, 43-9 penalty count won by Queensland. Now, you can call bias there, which is probably right. And everything that Teddy's talking about, even that stat is heading towards Queensland. So you would think Queensland would be doing this game comfortably with the ref on their side again.
You could argue, Paul, that New South Wales are just grubby and don't know the rules.
You could argue that. I think I heard another stat as well around Valentine Holmes. State of Origin games at Suncorp. I think he's been the first try scorer 3 times out of 5. So I'm keen to, and he's on the wing. So I'm very, very keen to have a little bit on Valentine, who isn't having the best isn't having the best season at all, but just the trends suggest to me Valentine for a first try scorer and the hammer for an anytime try scorer. And I know Teddy's got a $50 wager sitting on the hammer from last week to score a try this week. So yeah.
Well, before we make some picks for the game, I want to go around the room quickly and get a bold prediction from each of you. Blake, you're nodding along. Give me your bold prediction.
I've got scores are tied, and Stephen Crichton, as he always does, takes an intercept to set up a Mitchell Moses field goal to win the game.
If the scores are tied and Stephen Crichton scores a try, that means New South Wales go ahead.
No, scores are tied. Listen, scores are tied. Stephen Crichton takes an intercept, which sets up a Mitchell Moses field goal to win the game.
Okay. My bad. Eddie, your bold prediction.
A New South Wales back goes down injured in the first 20 minutes, and Michael Maguire has no idea what to do. I'm not sure how bold that is. That's my only question. I'm not sure how bold that is. It's happened in about 4 of the last 6 Origins. So,
give us a name. That'll make it a bit bolder.
Give a name. I am going to say the injured player will be Dylan Edwards.
Oh,
I don't really believe that, but I'm just throwing out Indy back. But I was forced to give you a name, so there it is.
That would probably eliminate the Crichton intercept too from fullback.
I was about to say Crichton, but I couldn't live with it. I need Crichton healthy. So.
Oh, your bold prediction.
I don't know if it's bold. New South Wales will be leading at half time, and Queensland will win with a field goal to Tommy Dearden. They'll look to DCE first. He'll be covered, and it'll come out to Tommy, and he will take one of the ugliest field goals of all time, which will wobble over the crossbar.
I'm not sure Tom Dearden's in their top 4 or 5 field kickers. Wouldn't Holmes be their backup?
He's going to be out on the wing. He's going to be out on the wing. I'm telling you now, Tommy Dearden will be taking the winning field goal.
All
That is
right,
bold. That is bold.
and my bold prediction, Kalen Ponga to come on with 20 minutes to go, score 2 tries, completely change the game, and Queensland kick on and win 13 plus. All right. Before we move on, as we did with game 2, I want a result. So a score, man of the match, a first try scorer, and a last try scorer, please. We'll start with you, Blake.
So I've got New South Wales 19-18, heading towards my bold prediction. It's 196-1 if anyone wants to jump on. Same game multi that. Carrigan, man of the match in a losing team. I think the referee hopefully will put the whistle away and it's going to be a forwards battle. And I think Carrigan will win it on a losing team. First try, I've gone Lomax in the air. And last try, I've got Tommy Dearden to make it 18 all game. 26-1, Tommy.
Teddy?
I've got Queensland winning 24-10. I have Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow first try. I have Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow last try. Man of the match. I am with Blake on this one. I've got Patrick Carrigan. I think his numbers dictate. You can absolutely put your pen through 2 of the favourites, which is always great. Mitchell Moses can't win. Daly Cherry can't win. No one wins twice in a series. So, unless they're going to have an all-time game. So, I think if Queensland win, it's probably going to be out between Bruce Walsh and Patrick Carrigan. And I think Carrigan's numbers dictate that he will have an issue showing up more on the big stage.
Paul?
I've got Queensland 25-24. I'm going Tommy Dearden, man of the match.
Deserves it after his winning field goal.
First try scorer, Valentine Holmes. Last try scorer, the Hammer. Boom.
I have got Queensland 38-24. There's going to be plenty of tries in this one. Don't laugh, Teddy.
You get on your
62 points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah. The winning team in the last 2 games has scored 38 points. I'll have you know. Man of the match. Didn't consider your stat you've just rattled off, Teddy, but Daly Cherry Evans for me. And first try scorer, Valentine Holmes on the wing. Last try scorer, Kalen Ponga off the bench. And anytime Hammer, absolutely. All right. Let's move on to divided opinion. Something a little bit different this week.
Oh, no.
How far back is too far back? I'm stealing this game from a golf podcast I listen to regularly. And I'm talking about the ladder. Currently, 4 points separates 8th and 15th. 105 points differential between the 8th placed Cowboys and the Bunnies in 15th. Yeah. How far back is too far back? Teddy?
I'm not really sure of the question because they can all make it. But differential play.
The question is where on the ladder is the line for you? Who's still realistically got a chance for you and who's out?
Okay, well, who's got a chance for me? Well, South are the last team with a chance. Now, do I think they've got a realistic chance? Probably not. I would say that the line is probably the Warriors, probably on 19 points. I think they can make it. I don't think they will because they've somehow managed to get a season-ending injury on their bye week, but but I think they can. But yeah, like we saw last year with Newcastle, right? They were dead and buried and looking at the wooden spoon with 10 weeks to go. We've still got 8 rounds to play out, so there's plenty of time. But I hold grave concerns for any of those teams with some shocking differentials. Luckily for the Cowboys who are plus 12, most of the teams below them have shocking differentials. So that will help the likes of Souths. And obviously when you win, you improve that.
Yep. So you're saying Broncos, Titans, Bunnies, Eels, and Tigers are gone?
Yes.
Blake.
Well, no, likely gone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be
Oh,
just-
look, I think 13 wins gets you in there. So when you look at the teams, you'd probably say the Broncos, Titans, and Rabbits would have to win out to make the 8. The Warriors may be able to drop a game, maybe 2, because they've got the bye, and they've got that 1 point buffer which might help them out or curse them at the end. But I would say the line is still the Rabbits, but if you're being serious, you could probably tick off a couple of teams. Like the Raiders most likely won't win 6 games out of the next. You think those 3 teams that I mentioned won't win all their games, Rabbits especially with no Latrell. So realistically, I think the Warriors, if you swap them with the Raiders, I think it'd be the Warriors up would be the only teams that I think have a genuine chance of making it. I would say the Knights, possibly. They've got a couple of games at home. But the Raiders, Broncos, Titans, Rabbits, Eels, Tigers, I think are too far back with too much to do. Well, not too far back, but I just think they've got too much to do.
Paul, how far back is too far back?
Look, we're on the same page here. The Rabbitohs up all have a chance of making it, but I agree with the guys. I think the Broncos have a really, really tough run in. I don't think they can make, because they probably have to win out. Maybe they can drop 1 game, but I can see that. Well, they've got that last round matchup against the Storm. The Storm may already be in and not have, can't go up, can't go down sort of thing, which means they may rest players for that final round matchup against the Broncos. So there could be something there, but I think it's from the Warriors up that have the more realistic chance. I think the Raiders are going to start to fall away. The Knights sort of worry me a wee bit. We saw they did this last season late on, and getting Ponga back now really, really helps their chances as well. But I think the Warriors, look, I still think they could be just outside the 8 at the start of the final round, and they could sneak in to the 8 without playing a game in the final round. So I think the Warriors do make it.
Yeah, I'm on the same page, unsurprisingly. From Warriors up, I've got a chance. But of the current top 8, bottom 8, I did the ladder predictor, and I've got the Dolphins dropping out and the Warriors jumping in. That's the only change I've got.
How many goes at the ladder predictor did you need to get to make sure that happened?
Just the one. And I had the Warriors dropping a game as well, so I'm not a complete. I won't say that, but I did have Warriors and Sharks finishing on 13 points, 13 wins, as you said, Blake.
Do you have the Panthers minor premiers as well?
I do, yes.
Yep.
I hope you're right. The thing with the Panthers is they don't ever chase the minor premiership. They're happy with top 2. They'll rest players last week if they've got top 2 secured.
Got the Dogs top 4 too, Teddy. You'd like that?
I think you've absolutely lost the plot. If you've got the Dogs top 4, that's amazing. If you've got the Sharks on 13 wins and the Dogs top 4, there's some severe question marks over this ladder predictor that's going on.
Hey, let's we're going to throw to it right now and just check out the betting from last week. And while I know I didn't do too well, I know overall I'm kicking everyone's ass. So just keep that in mind when you start throwing starts.
Right. Let's have a look at last week then. Blake, okay. 2 bets for Blake last week. He had a 3-leg multi, Titans to win, Broncos to win, Manly to win. Oh, nah.
No good.
No good. And then he loves his little try-scorer multis as well. Katoa, Bostock, Cam Pereira, Saab, and Oates. Did you get 4 out of 5 there?
Sure did, mate. I sure did.
I think Oates let you down there. That was a shame because that was paying $13.41. So
Oates, no
good there.
No.
Didn't help when you got hooked. Didn't help when you got hooked with the video.
Yeah, I know. The old one leg loser, they call me. 1 leg loser.
Yep. Bonus cash back for Blake there. Almost 800 down for the season. Nothing from Surly last week, I don't believe.
Surly's
Searley, what?
Yeah, I don't even know if he's listening anymore.
What?
It's a real disgrace.
Let's see. Oh, Carl.
No good. No
Two
good.
bets last week. Bunnies plus 4.5 into the Sharks minus 6.5. No good.
Imagine if they had a goal kicker, Carl.
I know. And Tane
Filthy.
Milk. Oh,
And also had Bunnies 1 to 12. No good. You are now up 772 for the season. Teddy.
just $1,500 more than Blake.
Teddy, you had two bets. One of them hasn't resulted. You had 50 on the Hammer to score a try tonight. So that's
You can count as a winner.
you can. It's sitting there at the moment. And the other bet, you had the Titans into the Dragons plus into the Knights plus. No good. Sorry, Teddy.
2 out of 3 is bad. Sorry, Meatloaf.
But one of the great national anthem renditions at a Major League All-Star game, Meatloaf. Unlike the young woman who was at the home run derby the other day. Wow. Anyway, and I had one bet. It was on my hunch. Teague Wilton did not score.
Unsurprisingly.
Oh, what?
Didn't they score 60 points?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad the summary was a lot less convoluted than the actual putting what took you to get the bet.
Oh, wait for this. Wait for the hunch this week, Teddy. You'll love it.
I'll go now then,
Oh, we're doing the hunch now.
if you want.
All righty. So I had a dream last night. And
We've lost 10
You
already.
and Martin Luther King.
yeah, not that sort of dream. No, I had a dream, and I was kidnapped. I know it's pretty dark. This one. I was kidnapped. I think someone slipped me a Mickey in my drink, and I was out cold. And look, I found myself in this warehouse, a warehouse that was making miniature Vikings, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to back the Raiders this week. There's no way that's happening. And I was there for a few days, but the second day I was there, I was woken up by a rooster crowing. Ooh, caw, caw. So
It's a seagull. So you're back in the Gold Coast.
I'm back in the Roosters today, because and I can tell you, I wasn't tied up or anything, and I actually got myself out of this factory, and I found out that it was a group of my friends who had done it to me. I was very angry about that, so I took them to court. I was going to sue them for kidnapping me. And that's when I woke up. So I don't know if I won the case or not. So, but yeah, I got woken up by a rooster on the second day of my kidnapping. So I'm back in the Roosters to beat the Storm this week. There we are.
Glad to have you back.
That's my hunch.
Glad to have you back, pal.
Teddy zoned out.
He's still anyway.
You can come back too.
Oh wow, legal action, kidnapping. It should have been more. To be honest, it should have been more interesting than it was, Paul.
He even jumped games. He was on the Raiders Warriors game and then skipped to the Roosters.
Yeah.
Is it getting less and less hunchy and more fictional every week?
I could see you switched off when I mentioned legal action, so we'll just leave it at that, Teddy.
More interested in this warehouse making Viking dolls.
Vikings. Yeah.
All right. We've lost the plot.
Let's do this.
Officially lost the plot, this show. Let's go to the grid. If you're playing along at home, pause the pod. Go find the NRL grid, Tuesday, 16th of July. Do your best. Come back and compare your scores this week across the top. Played for Queensland as a premiership winner and played in 2020. Down the left, has played for the Dogs, has played for the Dolphins, has played for the Cowboys. Teddy, your top row, please.
3 Wizards on the top row.
Well,
Dogs, Queensland, Jason Hetherington, 1.18. Premiership winner Bulldogs, Darren Smith, 0.95. And played in 2020, a Bulldogs player, unlike the other two who I absolutely adore, probably one of my most disliked Bulldogs of all time, Jade Knockenball, 0.45. Now playing, I think, 3rd division in England. Just got dumped by York. So, hold on.
Yeah, we cannot have a Bulldogs line in the grid because Teddy's just going to clean up.
For us, we have the
Well, we got the
Wars.
yeah.
You get the Wards every time, and I'm no chance.
Yes, correct.
And Blake gets the Wars and the Tigers and the Sharks. And...
Yeah. Every other, I've got a lot of in here with a lot of teammates, a lot of stories.
Did you have Darren? Did you say Teddy?
Oh, was that right?
Did you have Darren Smith in that top line?
I did. One of the Broncos, not yet.
Blake, your top row, please.
I've got 2 Wizards and a Brain. I've got Jason Hetherington too, the bald-headed master for Queensland. I've got Shifty Sherwin, a Brain, 1.59, and I've got the JBL, what is it, stereo thief himself, Lachlan Lewis, a Wizard, 0.42. So that's my top line.
One of Australia's great unsolved mysteries.
Yes.
Yours, please, Paul.
I think me and you are fighting out for the last place on the podium today.
Absolutely.
All righty. Nate Miles, 9.90.
I'm ahead.
Matt Utai, 1.94. And DWZ, 2.34.
I've got 2 premierships and a nothing on this line. I've got Willie Tonga, 6.49. Also Matt Utai, 1.94. And Moses Mbai, 1.89.
Oh, damn it.
Middle row, Ted. Dolphins. Your Dolphins. I presume you're going to have 3 Wizards again.
No, I'm not sure there were 3 Wizards available based on, I think I got the best possible answer on the 2 ticks. But Tom Gilbert, 4.56, played for Queensland Dolphins. Brenko Lee, 12.19, premiership winner Dolphins. And played in 2020 Dolphins, Sean O'Sullivan, Wizard, 1.42.
Blake.
Wow. I've got the Hammer, 7.40. I had Felice Kafusi, 22.32. And I had a Unicorn, 1.17. Pawasa Fa'amasali.
If you can't say the name, you don't deserve the Wizard. I'll give you the tip now.
Now,
Well, he was in the
playing off the bench. Now
he
playing off the
was,
bench for the New South Wales Cup team at the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he was actually in the Warriors as well for a stint there during the COVID lockdown. That's how I remember. So there we go.
Nice.
Tom Gilbert, 4.56. Brenko Lee, 12.19. Herman Essie, 3.60.
Tom Flegler, 8.08. Felice Kafusi, 22.32. And Sean O'Sullivan, Wizard, 1.42.
Oh, what?
And bring it home, Ted, bottom row.
Queensland Cowboys, John Doyle, Unicorn, 0.57.
That's made up. You made that up.
I'm pretty sure John Doyle was an answer last week, and you got it at the same time. Made up. That's not real.
Good player, John Doyle.
He was a good player. Premiership winner, Cowboys, Justin O'Neill, 2.84. And played in 2020, Cowboy, a Brain, 1.05. Jake Clifford.
Oh. So what, you've got to go either really, really recent or really, really old? I'll just...
Really old or haven't played many games. That's the key.
Haven't played many games.
Right.
All right.
Like,
I got a Brain, the first one. Josh Hannay, 1.53. I was also Justin O'Neill, 2.84. And my last one was Benny Hampton, 1.73.
Josh Hannay, Brain, 1.53. Kevin Campion, Wizard, 1.26. Isan Masters, 1.17.
No. Scott Prince, 3.93. Michael Morgan, 2.70. Jordan McLean, 3.30. I'm not feeling good about this.
Oh.
Totals, Teddy, how much did you win by?
25.2. I'm going to say a bit.
That's big.
What was that? 25.2.
I did it about 8 o'clock last night and I was 10th. So I think I thought I fancy my chances today. That's about as good as I've had on one, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. You've got me. I'm a 40.2.
38.5.
What?
No.
Wow, from the clouds.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, get out the Ben Johnson drug test.
You won't believe this, Stevie. I started it today, and I actually was doing today's grid. And,
I think you won't believe that.
and I started with a wizard and then got 100 the very next square. And I'm going, oh, I've got the wrong day. You're guilty.
And I have 52.1, but let's move on. We got time. Would you rather? With a twist this week. There's been plenty of chat this week around Immortals, with the next one set to be announced. Quick whip around. Who's your pick to be the next Immortal, Ted?
Mine is instantly very boring, but I don't think it should be any of the recent players. So I think it should be Duncan Thompson, the great North Sydney Bears halfback from the 1920s, would be my pick.
Blake?
I actually have no idea, to be honest. I mean, to me, Cameron Smith's the greatest player I've ever seen.
Yep.
So if you're going on that, but then I've got different view on it. I think it should go by eras, have one in each area or two in each era or decade. So I'm not sure. I know Ron Coote's been tossed around. I know there's a big push for Alfie Langer as well. I don't think I'd be upset if it was any of those great players, to be honest. I don't actually have a pick because I just go the players that I've watched. So I'd say maybe an Alfie. I had to.
Paul?
I actually like that idea from Blake, picking a player from each decade and putting them through. And I agree, Cam Smith, he's going to be an Immortal sooner or later. But I'm just thinking back to when I first started watching rugby league, and I almost became a Parramatta Eels supporter because of this guy, Brett Kenny, for mine, who scored a double in 3 straight grand finals. I think it was 81, 82, 83, when Parramatta were
Good
at their height. So Brett Kenny for mine. And he played for Wigan in a massive Challenge Cup final as well. So, yeah, Brett Kenny. I just love the way he played.
A bit like you, Blake. Don't really have a pick overall, but I don't know. Darren Lockyer, I thought, was a name that hasn't been tossed around too much this time around. But
he's the favourite. He's the favourite to be the next Immortal. Darren Lockyer. So he'll be the short price favourite. Well, I think he will be. I think there's a few dangers with this, though, in terms of it's hard comparing eras, but there's also a recency bias. So everyone goes, well, these guys are Immortals. And for mine, Cameron Smith is an absolute lay-down Immortal. Andrew Johnson's probably the most brilliant player I ever saw play. Cameron Smith is the greatest because he just did everything at a high level for so long. I can barely remember a Cameron Smith era over 400 games. So, but Slater is obviously one, but everyone, Thurston probably, but Lockyer, I wouldn't have Lockyer in there. I wouldn't have, I certainly wouldn't have Greg Inglis in there. He's being talked about. And I think as the years go by, I want to get on that. And I think Alan Langer and Brett Kenny and my old favourite Terry Lamb are just that next level below with Brad Fittler of these great players. The Immortals have stood the test of time because it's a very, very select club and very, very special. There was 4 in it for a long time. There's 13 now. I'd be loath to be putting too many in it, but I think I'd be loath to be putting too many new, because the more new players you put in, the less perspective you've got, and you're going to skip over a lot of the old players. And yeah, I'd have no problem with Ron Coote being in there at all. I have no problem with Brian Bevan, who scored nearly 800 tries, played 8 games in Australia, but Australian, scored 800 tries for Warrington over the years. So they're players I'd be looking at more than the recent one.
And that's where I think they might have got it wrong at the start, where you do start comparing eras. And that's why I said, Paulie, like if you have maybe you might only have one from the 1920s or none, but you might have you might have two in the 30s. But if you're to now give it to someone who played 2000 to 2020, it's so hard then to justify going back to the 1940s. I think it should be, 40s. Okay, we're done now. And we get to, like these guys, hopefully live for a lot longer and they will be celebrated, while there are people, maybe Roncoot or other players from the past that, we get to celebrate while they're still alive. So I think it does have to be someone from, if it is the 60s, but if whatever era they do award it, I hope they just don't go back then. I hope it's just in chronological order moving forward. My opinion, though.
Sorry, Teddy, did you say someone scored 800 tries?
Yep. Brian Bevan scored nearly 800 tries, 792 for Warrington and Blackpool Borough. They don't exist anymore in English Rugby League, and is widely regarded as the greatest try scorer of all time. And it was an insane number. I think he played like 400 odd games, something like that, 400 or 500 games.
He played 670 games.
A lot of games. They played a lot of games over all the cup ties and stuff like that. But you have a look at him. This is not a guy who looks fast. This is not a guy who looks...
In 18 years for Warrington, he played 620 games and scored 740 tries.
And you know what? I wish they'd work him. I wish they'd work him just as hard today. More midweek games.
It is absolutely absurd.
3 games a week.
I'm glad we can add a bit of history to this podcast. And funny enough, played 8 games for East, from 42 to 46 during the war. Never scored a try.
Surprised he had a career after that.
The off season was Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Then they were back into it again.
No. They used to play Christmas Day. It was a famous game over there. Christmas Day used to be the biggest day in this rugby league. So he did not get Christmas Day off.
This is
and based on the number of games he played, he probably backed up and played Boxing Days.
His nickname was the Wing Wizard. I love it. Go check him out, punters. Brian Bevan. Wow. I'm lost now.
Yeah, you are. You're going off track.
What? All right, quickly. What would you give up to have a chance at an immortal rugby league career? Like, you're probably the closest. So I'll start with you. Would you give up your favorite food forever?
Yeah.
What is your food?
Yep.
What is?
Probably like a good schnitzel.
Chicken schnitzel. Would you give up the Advantage Line podcast?
Yeah.
Now, guess what?
Would you give up your current career?
Yes, because it'd be 10 times better, whatever. If you're an immortal, you got limitless jobs.
Would you give up your favorite hobby forever?
Nah, I don't think I could give up punting.
We found the line.
We found it. What about you, Teddy? You still on where I'm at?
Yeah, I'm still going.
You still going? So you'd give up your favorite hobby?
Also punting, and yes.
Would you give up your family?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, no. It's gone too far. Cut that part out. That's no.
No, of course I wouldn't.
Wow, that's lucky because I haven't got any more. I think family was the line. So. What's your line?
What was the first one?
Your favorite snack food?
No.
No?
Nope.
What is your favorite snack food?
Well, when you say snack.
Well, let's just say favorite food.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, gee. Which takeaway do I go with?
Colonel.
Who?
You're a Colonel man through and through.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I got as far as hobby. Couldn't give it up.
Golf.
No way. No way. All right. Let's have a look at this week, round 20. Some games, and then we'll get to having a punt. The first game, Raiders v Warriors. Raiders $1.87 favourites. The Warriors $1.95. Bit of team news for the Raiders. Fogarty's back, Hudson Young is back, and Zach Hoskins is back for the Warriors. Tane Tuopiki is at fullback. Ali Leatoa into the centres. RTS to the wing. Leka Halasima has been named on the bench. Barnett and Capewell have been named to back up after Origin 2-day turnaround. And as Teddy alluded to earlier, Tohu Harris has been ruled out for the season. To the game, the Warriors have won 3 straight against the Raiders, 5 of the last 7 and 6 of the last 10. They've won 2 of the last 3 in Canberra. There has been 3 golden point games in the last 16, dating back to 2016. The average winning margin in the last 10 is 8.9. The line this week is 1.5. What else have you got, Ted?
Yeah, it's kind of a really difficult game to get a grip on. The Raiders have been very poor against teams outside the 8, 12 and 27 against the spread. They've failed to cover the last 5 at home off a loss. 3 of the last 11 was a home underdog. But the Warriors covered as 41% in Australia the last 4 years. Teams on back-to-back interstate games covered 44%. Well, a former Advantage Line host has absolutely declared the Raiders this week, so I'm happy to take the lead there. But I have no push. One bet I will be taking is the over. Always see an improvement in the weather around here, but overs 12 and 3 and the Raiders play at night. 8 and 2 and the Warriors off conceding 13 or fewer and 5 and 1 off a bye. So I'll be betting the over small and probably copying the tip and taking the Raiders.
One of your stats in there had the Raiders as home underdogs. What about as home favourites, as they are?
Sorry, they were home underdogs when I did the stats. So
Eastern, yeah.
Oh,
Were.
okay.
I don't have that. They've got a shocking record as a home team, full stop. So they're probably worse as a home favourite, to be honest.
Blake, what do you got? What do you like in this game?
I'm a bit like Teddy. I'm tossed up. Look, I was heavy on the Warriors, and then you bring back Fogarty and Hosking onto the bench. I think RTS is in for a big game on the wing, even though I'm a bit sad to see him not be at the centres. I don't think we saw the full potential there. But Ali back in the centres. Look, I'm the Warriors just for me, but that's just more of a hard overhead bet. I don't really know where this is going to go.
What do you think, Paul?
I'm looking for a successful field goal in the game. I think with Fogarty back in a tight game, I think there's a chance we're going to see a field goal. And I'm hoping that the Wires practiced setting up for a field goal over the past week. Because I think even without SJ on the field, they do have players who can knock over a field goal. They just struggled to set one up properly against the Bulldogs. What was that, a couple of weeks ago? So, yeah, I'm going to be looking to punt a successful field goal in this match.
The Raiders have lost 5 of the last 6. I think even with those players returning, they're gonna need a week or so to get back to their best. I think this is the game for me for the Warriors to kind of determine the outcome of their season. If they win this, then the next couple of weeks look a little bit easier, and top 8 is a real chance.
It's almost a double win because they jump over the top
Yes.
of the Raiders if they do pick up the win there. So it's almost their playoffs have almost start here.
This is the biggest game of this season. As we are now, the situation for mine, and like you, Blake, I think Roger's going to have a massive game on the wing. We've seen with this new halves pairing of Harris Tavita and Tomato Martin that I think they tend to favour the left-hand side over the right, which is, where all of our attack went through in the first few weeks of the season. So I think RTS in for a big game on the wing. I've pulled out 2 more games that I want to have a look at, but I'll go to you, Teddy. What game would you like to have a look at next?
Let's go to the next one, the Bunnies and the Tigers. And from mine, the Tigers are the lay-down morale of the week.
Speaking of Tigers, Blake's had a guts when he's left.
He's gone.
I he probably wasn't backing me to declare his beloved Tigers the absolute morality. No Happy Coruscant, obviously a concern, but some other positive changes. I like seeing Luke Lowy in the side. I think they've got rid of a few of the, I'll say it nicely, plotters on the bench. No way South should be favoured by the number they are. They're third last on the ladder. And this is one of the great bounce back spots they love. Teams off conceding 56 plus, 34 and 12 against the spread since 2008, 14 and 3 against the spread the last 4 years. Teams off a loss of 40 plus cover at 60%. Tigers have covered 4 of their last 5 off conceding 56 plus. The fact they've conceded 56 plus 5 times was hysterical, but that's only over the last 4 years. And the Bunnies, they've covered just 2 of the last 4 as a favourite, 1 of the last 8 in the daytime. This is on neutral turf. This is at Gosford. Absolutely declaring the Tigers here. Plus.
Wow. That's not where I was going with this game. I really like the
Was this
Bunnies.
one of your games? Was this one of your games?
It was, yeah. And more just looking at the historical stats between these two and the Bunnies' success over the Tigers. Have won 7 of the last 8, 10 of the last 13.
Tigers have covered 5 of the last 7.
The last 3, the Bunnies have won by 20.
Yeah, I think the line's been bigger than that.
Yeah.
a lot of those times. So.
Yeah.
Also,
I was
remember, over recent history, Souths have been a very, very good top echelon team, and the Tigers have been really bad. Well, the Tigers are still really bad, but the Rabbitohs, they're third last, and there's no Latrell.
They're third last, but they're a better team than third. They're not going to
Also,
finish third.
have you seen their goal? Have you seen their goal kicking? You're back.
That
12 and a half is not 2 converted tries they're going to cover. That is 3 tries they're going to have to hit. That's giving me nothing but breathing room.
That is a concern, and I hope they've addressed that at training this week. And now
how are you going to address it? You need to find someone. That made any changes.
Jack Whiten, wasn't he a goal kicker at the start of his career?
Not sure. Maybe get Paul's view on this one. I'll come back to you on that.
Might have made that up. What do you feel like in this? What do you feel like?
I'm with Teddy. I like the Tigers with the points.
But Jack Whiten never kicked a goal in his career.
Well, maybe you should start.
Couldn't
get any worse.
Exactly. I agree with Teddy. No Latrell. That's a huge out for the Rabbitohs, and he's been a big part of their sort of resurgence over the last few weeks. And we saw how badly they went when he was out. So, yeah, I think the Tigers. And is Coruscant on the reserves bench? Is he a chance of actually jumping in there?
No. They've named his name anywhere else, I think so. I'd say as long as.
Perfect time for you to come back. Hopefully the kids have left a little bit of internet in the computer for you. We're just talking about the Tigers and the Bunnies. What do you like?
Oh, wow. Have you got me?
Yep.
Oh, it's like
very, very laggy.
Yeah.
We might.
It looks like you're coming from the West Indies, 1988, but
it's an AI version of Blake Ashford.
Yes. Well, I think the Rabbitohs absolutely destroy the Tigers. I can't tip the Tigers again this year. My boys, it's tough. It's tough. Bad as this internet. No, I haven't spoke to anyone, to be fair. I did like a couple of their plays they tried to run were 2011 plays, which was 2010-11 plays, which were good out of their own territory, but I can't back them. I have no faith in them. Their team's just not good enough. Put it that way.
They could certainly use a BH for it in the centres, that's for sure. Are you available this weekend?
I'm going to try and play for another team that I haven't played for. So I might see if the Dogs need me or someone.
When Stephen Crichton gets in, you're in. All right. What game would you like to look at, Paul?
Well, my hunch game, the Roosters.
Yep.
I think this is a very much a line in the sand game for them. They've looked very, very good at times this season, but this is up against a team who they may well meet in the playoffs at some stage. So I think this game means more to them than it does to the Storm. And I just like the way that they've been travelling at the moment as well. The Storm just seem to be winning those close games. But I think the Roosters have got enough in the tank to get up over the Storm here. And of course, it'll be very interesting to see who backs up for both teams after Origin. So there may be a wee bit of a change in those odds before we get to kick off. But I just like the way the Roosters are going at the moment.
Storm $2.10 home favourites, home outsiders. Sorry, I can't imagine, Teddy, the Storm have been home outsiders for a long time, if not ever.
3 times in the last 4 years, and I've covered 2 of them. So I imagine, from what's in front of me, I imagine they would nearly always be against Penrith. So they were home underdogs, I think, in round 1 this year.
Lost Nation gone.
Again, gone missing. No, I like the Storm this one. I think the Storm are but not confident. I don't have a huge head, but Harry Grant's the only Storm player backing up from Origin. The Roosters have 4. Big ask on the road to Melbourne. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of them rested. Yeah, I like the Storm in this one.
This was my 3rd game I pulled out, and I found an interesting stat. I'll say the away team has an incredible record in this fixture. The visiting team has won 7 of the last 13. In the last 17, the average winning margin is just 10. And there have been 11 matches in those last 17 with single-digit margins, 9 of them by 6 or less. So very tight match. I think the line's 1.5 this week. 3.5, sorry.
Yeah, the Storm's won 9 of the last 10.
There we go.
All right, so there's kind of just getting their nose in front. So yeah, and they've been low-scoring games too. So. 9 of the last 12 won under the total.
This jumped out to me too. So the average total in the last 10, we're just saying it's a very tight game, 37.1. The total this week's 47.5.
Oh, the unders has got to be a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Storm's inability to tackle is a worry, but
yes. All right. In the interest of time, should we move on to some betting?
You know, the saddest thing about this week,
We lost Blake.
The second saddest thing about this week is we're not going to get a Trent Barrett stat.
I know. And the countdown's on too, Paul. We've got limited time.
How does Trent go against the bye?
I'm pretty sure he's never beaten it.
I just got a text from Blake. Connection was bad. Here are the bets. So we'll start with him.
Yeah.
He's got Dom Young anytime, Roosters 1-12, $50 on at 440. Don't mind that. And then he's also got the Broncos 13 plus into Manly head to head, $50 on at 426. The Broncos are playing the Knights. They're $1.70 favourites. Knights $2.15 at home. Teddy, your bets this week.
Okay, real simple. We'll have a double. Tigers plus 12.5 into Titans plus 8.5 at $3.60.
Oh, that's it.
All
the whole
on.
hundy on.
Hundy on.
Righty ho.
Yours, please, Paul.
Okay, 2 bets for mine. I'm going to take a double as well. I'm going to take the Waz 1-12 into the Roosters 1-12, 50 on that. And then State of Origin tonight, I'm going to have 50 on Valentine Holmes to score the first try.
All right. I'm going to have 3 bets. 3 bets this week, and I'm going to stick with the Bunnies, even though they did me dirty last week. Bunnies to score 41 or more points at $3.90. I'm going to have 50 on that. Then I am going to have 30 on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck to score 2 or more tries at $4.10. And then I'm going to have a 3-leg multi, Warriors, Roosters, Dogs, all head-to-head. My remaining dollars on that at $6.91. That's us. Promos this week, Paul?
Yeah, there will be. My laptop itself.
Oh, you can't say that.
What? No, you can, because it's with an A, not an I.
I've got you.
On the State of O tonight, there's a 3 or
Bonus.
more leg same game multi.
Yep.
Up to $50 back in bonus cash if you miss by one leg. And then it'll be the Overball Mega Multi. And I'm guessing there's also going to be a same game multi back for the NRL as well.
Correct.
Check out all the T's and C's at the Abbey website.
Alrighty. Thanks, Blake, for coming. Good stuff. Teddy, thank you very much. Go and enjoy Garfield, mate.
Yep. And the ice and the popcorn.
Well, I'll be honest, the quality of Garfield should be as good as this podcast, I imagine. So looking forward to the banter.
I'm not sure if he's putting Garfield down or lifting us up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully, I reckon the lasagna eating's on par for us all.
I had lasagna for dinner the other night. I made it myself. Beautiful.
How good? How good's lasagna?
Love it.
And right
Thanks,
in the mood. Might ditch the Colonel and get some lasagna for lunch after this.
Yeah, good.
Good timing.
Thank you
There you go.
to the punters out there, and we will be back next week to do it all again. Cheers.